Your brother Billy, whatever happened there? Whatever happened there? Welcome back to Fog Entertainment. It is the mid-season finale of The Sopranos Season 6A, whatever you want to call it. It's brother Stevie here, it's brother Jamie there, and we're going to review it. So, let's dive into it. The Sopranos has just absolutely nosedived off a cliff, and you know what? Christopher's got a pretty big nose, so let's begin with him. You know what? When I first watched this show...
Like intro, like episode.
When I first watched this show, I thought Tony killing Chris, the cat's at the bag, he already knows, right? I thought it sucked. But see, the more I actually watch of this show, Chris is fucking useless. And is it the writing, or is it just that once a junkie, always a junkie? You know what? This guy's character has just went round in fucking circles for years now, seasons. He's just a useless junkie. And you know what? I kind of almost see why Tony puts the plug on him, or pulls the plug on him.
Well, we're not talk about that. That's a different episode.
No, it is, but it's like, how many times can Chris go back to AA, get clean, and then go off the rails again?
Can I just be kicked out, no?
Well, I mean, he could be kicked out, but I can't... I think it's more of a waste of a character from a writing perspective. I mean, obviously he's with Juliana Skiff. He said he was... You're dating a shine. Bobby didn't exactly take a shine to the shine, but Tony... obviously believed that lie for Christopher, because Christopher laid it on thick about Polly wouldn't like her around where they work and things like that. But is that no a joke? Well, obviously Christopher made this up, right? But Polly's got a problem with gays, blacks. He's pretty much got a problem with everybody, Polly, doesn't he?
Polly's got a lot of problems.
Dare I say Polly's a bit of an arsehole, but yeah, Christopher, he eventually admits to Tony at the end of the episode that he was seeing Juliana Skiff. Tony says he's not bothered, but then we cut to Dr. Melfi. He's like, and that my fucking turkey neck fucking nephew bastard, he's banging Julia Skiff, and he almost loses the plot there. You've got Christopher, you see him and how Julia meet, and then pretty much a lot of the episode, they're just sitting there staring at water bottles, doing crack, doing meth, doing you name it, man.
Just junkie shite, man. See, I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, see when junkies... I think if junkies that do all this shit, I think if they could watch how they act when they're doing it, I think it would put them off, personally.
Yeah, I think if it was a...
I don't think you can be watching this show and see how people that are taking this, how they get on and how they just like lay about as like wasters. I don't see how you can think, oh, that's cool, I want to be like that. Give me some of that stuff, you know?
Yeah, and what makes this even worse is, Christopher's got a wife. He's got a kid on the way. And any time she phoned this episode, he did not give one solitary fuck. He's just sitting there, comatose on the couch, staring at the water bottle. What if Tony finds out? If he knows we went to AA, he knows I'll be using. Well, how about you just stop using? Honestly, see the potential in Christopher. When Tony told him a couple of seasons ago, you're going to take this family into the 21st century. He's taking it back to the 19th century, man. He's burying it further than what they buried Fat Dom at the start of the episode. So let's get into that. Carlo gets rid of his head. Silvio will get rid of the body in Connecticut. So there's got no ties to New York and New Jersey. Benny then blows up a building in front of Phil. Phil then wants retaliation. We then sit down with little Carmine. He says something like, a pint of blood is worth more than a gallon of gold. And they all look at each other like, this guy's a fucking whack job. But it's all an act for little Carmine. You see this guy, like, the meeting ends on good terms. He mentions the fact that he wants revenge for whoever killed Rusty, and it's funny, the piece that he's broken here between these two sides.
Two guys responsible.
Yeah, and obviously firing Johnny Sack for while we're at it, but yeah, and then he basically turns around and says, your brother Billy, whatever happened there. I mean, your brother Billy, whatever happened there.
It's almost like he's just throwing it away. See that wee incident that he's had a couple weeks ago over the argument over I don't know, fucking a sandwich or something. It's like, what are you talking about? Brother just got killed, and he's trying to brush it under the carpet. Whatever happened there?
Phil, right?
How could he say that and not know that was going to like fucking start a reaction from Phil?
No, I know, and rightfully, Phil takes this bad. He's like, cocksucker, his cousin put 6 bullets in my brother. Fuck you, he should fucking die. And then they leave. So when we see New York, they'd sit down. Phil's against the idea of whacking Tony, but he's not against the idea of whacking somebody in the crew. As Butch suggests, they should whack somebody over there.
Yeah, but I mean, don't they realise that's going to lead to tit for tat, is it not?
Could we not? Oh, not even argue, right?
No, but let's
they killed Vito, and they think they killed Fat Dom, even though there's no proof.
Was that no it? Should they not just be like, right here, we'll let it go?
There's no proof.
Or is Fat Dom worth more than a Vito of egg? Is
Fat Dom worth more than a fat bag?
You know,
I don't know.
Maybe that's it. Like, but does
they have no proof though.
Does Phil not think like I can't kill Tony, but I can kill one of his guys? Does that not just mean that Tony and his guys are going to kill one of Phil's guys, and then it's just going to be retaliation after? I mean, when does it end?
Yeah, it would obviously spark a war, but Phil does not want to kill a boss because then they pointed out it was done in the past, and Phil's like, "Ah, look what happened. You never get anywhere." So I think Tony's safe, but maybe someone else could get wiped out. But is Phil safe? He starts getting chest problems. He then collapses, and then he gets rushed to the hospital. To which he like hugs the doctor that released him a couple of hours prior. I don't know. This looked a wee bit weak from a guy. See from the guy that buried Johnny Sack at his daughter's wedding.
Yeah, but to be fair, he broke down. I suppose you can't really help it if you think you're dying, like, you know.
I know, but
you can't.
He hugged a doctor that's foreign. I know of someone. See if Vito hugged a doctor, an Indian doctor. Phil would be using any excuse under the sun, man, to bury.
He's gotta go. He hugged that man.
He's gotta go. What else? We had Bobby visiting Junior. Junior's obviously wired to the moon. He referenced, like, Bobby's old wife who died in, like, season 3, which is fucking donkeys ago at this stage. And Bobby's like, you know, you shot Tony. Obviously, he's not good with you. And then Junior, like, refuses to elaborate on it to a degree. And he's like, you know, I wasn't the only one there. And then Junior's like, you need to stop referencing the JFK assassinations. Why the fuck does Junior think he's got something to do with that? He's fucked.
It's kind of, I mean, you know, I don't think Junior's ever a great guy, like, or anything like that, so I'm not saying that I feel that much sympathy towards him, but, you know, it's kind of, it's a wee bit sad, like, you feel like he's just left in that care home with nobody left, really. Bobby, like, was maybe the only guy that was close to him, and now Bobby essentially has to pick Tony.
Yeah.
Junior, I don't know, I feel a wee bit bad for him.
I think they've done Junior a bit dirty. We then cut to AJ. He meets Bianca Salgado, a Dominican Republican lady. And you go, sí, rapido. So she's like...
Know, when I first seen this, I thought, right, what's she want? She's not got any interest in AJ. And I don't know if I've changed my mind after the episode finished.
She's 10 years older than him. She's got a son.
Doesn't look 10 years older than him.
Well, that's what Carmela said. I mean, it doesn't help that AJ looks about 12, though, so...
Well, everyone fucking Tony sleeps with is about 20 years younger than Carmel, aren't they? So, I mean...
Yeah, let's be honest, right? There's a lot of red flags with Bianca.
You know, Carmela's
their biggest beef's not the fact that there's a 10-year age gap. It's the fact she's Dominican Republican and she's got a kid. That's why they're greeting about that. Like, let's not get it twisted.
I thought Tony kind of took it all right.
He did. He said, "Here, you told me to get him a job, and now he's got a job, and he's found love, and now you're having a fucking go at me." Yeah, you said it during the episode. Carmela's basically Janice. It's like nothing fucking pleases her. Yeah, she got her wee spec house, but Tony only did that to get her to stop looking into an investigation for Adriana. Oh, we should hire people to find out where she went. Why? No, honestly, did you ever get the vibe when Adriana was in this show that her and Carmela were these, like, you know, two peas in a pod? No? Why the fuck does she care? It's like she ran off on Chris. Carmela has got no reason to think that they would kill Adriana. Who cares? Move on. Jesus Christ. Let's just leave it there. Tony then goes to New York to visit Phil Leotardo, who's in the hospital. This was after a wee conversation with Agent Harris, who said there's higher-ups in the FBI that say someone in Tony's organisation may be in danger from the Libertazzi New York family. So, are we thinking there's a mole in New York relaying information to the FBI? It could be potentially that. Tony rocks up. He grabs Phil by the hand. Right, big man, when you get out, let's stop this beef. No no-show jobs, no money issues. Think of the grandkids, Phil. Phil cries. He calls him a cocksucker because he finally made his way to Brooklyn. Then as Tony leaves, Butch kind of says to Tony, we need to stop meeting under these circumstances.
Yeah, it sounded like a threat for Butch, and I'm thinking, who the fuck does this guy think he is? He's about 4 foot tall.
And he's got he's got worse eyes than Shawn Michaels.
And he waddled
Maybe
a bit
no
like
one's
Vito
got
as well. I mean,
he's nowhere near the size of Vito, though, is he? At the end of the day.
Like...
And then, yeah, we basically have the end of the episode. Everyone.
Yeah, maybe you think Vito waddled like that because he took up the ass.
He was waddling a wee bit more after he returned for New Hampshire, wasn't he? Like,
See that waddle he did into the hotel room just before he met Phil? That was...
it's almost like he had the pool cue already launched up his arse or something. Anyway, end the episode, Christmas dinner, everyone's there. You know, Tony's looking at Chris. May you hug all the ice. As Chris is like taking extra ice for his you know.
Yeah, obviously this ain't about the ice. This is just Tony being pissed off.
Why are you hogging Julia Skiff, you fucking turkey neck bastard?
Which he explained. And with the meeting with Dr. Melfi, so yeah, I mean, Tony, it's not about the ice, brother. We don't care about no ice.
Meadow calls for California. When Tony earlier on explained about Adriana, she just wanted away for her mother. Carmela took this fic about Meadow. Completely different.
How can you say that after my daughter just left the country? Or left to go the other side of the country? It's like, Jesus Christ. Meadow told you she was going.
Yeah.
Adriana
for a year.
Disappeared, fuck's sake.
Exactly. You know what I mean? I just don't... oh, fuck it. Carmela just makes everything about her. Bianca, it's like, oh, you have a lovely home. Carmela's like, yes, thank you. Then you get the wee peaceful music. Tony's wearing the wee French hat.
Yeah, but you know what? At the beginning, it's like Carmela was being nice to her and, oh, come on in. And then behind her back, she's old, she's got a kid. She's not white, you know? It's like...
Is there actually anyone in this show that just tells you straight to your face what they feel like?
I like two-faced bastards.
I feel like the only person that really does was Richie Aprile. Maybe there's a few other examples, but everyone is the same, man. There's no straight shooters. They're all fucking going around corners and doing this. But the episode ends, they're all around the Christmas tree and Tony's got his wee hat on. The end. Mid-season finale. Not exactly great. The war has kind of been put on pause because due to, you know, Phil Leotardo's health fucking care or whatever.
The last 3 episodes have been really disappointing.
Yeah, they should have wrapped up the fetal stuff a bit better. You know, the problem is, it's final season, 21 episodes. It's natural for things to feel dragged out, but the problem is, the entire show's felt dragged out. You know, there's been a lot of filler across the 6.5 seasons.
Sopranos is really bad at concluding episodes.
Yeah.
And I feel like they're really bad as well at concluding storylines. Like, I just think the way Fetal went out it just seemed very abrupt. But literally every time they whack someone, it doesn't feel like the build-up's there. It kind of just feels like they're safe 1 minute, then dead the next.
Yeah.
And you could argue, well, that's... Well, you don't know when...
That's the life, I guess, but, I mean, maybe it'd be better if some people had, you know, there was variety in it. Like, some people died suddenly and some people didn't. Anyway, I'll give it a 5 out of 10. Very generic.
I'll give a 6.
5.5 out of 10. We'll be back for 6B, and we'll see who's standing for that. Till then, peace.